Can call the passing of the torch in the tennis era, it was this particular game. Janik Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz has put on one of an exhibition of tennis at the Roland Garros semi-final, and it has seen Carlos Alcaraz finally overcoming his demons, what he suffered last year. His stamina held firm, his maturity held firm, his aggression held firm in an absolute high voltage clash with Janik Sinner in an epic 5-set encounter. Carlos Alcaraz had to battle twice from being a set down. He lost the first set 2-6, but then bounced back to win the next game 6-3. He then lost the third set 6-3, but in the next two sets 6-3, 6-4, Carlos Alcaraz has once again cemented that among this current group of greats who are there in the modern era in tennis, who's going to take over from the reins of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic? You have one answer now. It is Janik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. A fantastic exhibition of tennis was seen today on Roland Garros, and that is why it is a match fitting to be called the new passing of the torch moment in world tennis. We thought that Federer was Sampras that happened in 2001 was one defining moment wherein the old world order made way for a new world order. This match was truly the essence of it. Imagine how many Grand Slams in the modern era can you think that it has not been won by a Federer or a Nadal or a Djokovic? This you will definitely see one, because Carlos Alcaraz in this way has shown that what a spectacular, phenomenal talent he is. And he's so un-Spaniard like Rafael Nadal. I mean, Rafael Nadal made his claim to fame by winning the French Open on a consistent basis. But Alcaraz has made a claim by winning the French and the Wimbledon titles. Much before Nadal could achieve it, he's already done it. So that is why if Alcaraz wins the French Open, it will only be the carrying forward of the legacy that Spaniards have had when it comes to the French Open. Prior to that, if you look at Rafael Nadal, you look at Juan Carlos Ferrero, you look at Sergei Bruguera, you look at all the others who've done well in the French Open, Spaniards have traditionally dominated in that sense. Now, if you look at how the match panned out, you saw that Sinner was first away, immediately attacking the forehand, as well as he was much more aggressive in his court coverage. He tried to keep the points short and aggressive, and that is why he decided he won the first set in rather quick time. But then Alcaraz realized his plan. And then what happened? In a brilliant exhibition of forehand, drop shots, and overhead lobs. That was the mantra that he was going to do. He would employ a mixture of deep court as well as serve and volley in a way in which confuse a Sinner in what kind of action to take. So that is why he decided that this was the best way to go forward, and that is why he won the next game quite easily. But Sinner was not somebody who was going to let go. Remember, the head-to-head record that these guys had prior to their meeting in the semi-final today was 4-4. It was so evenly matched that you just couldn't separate them. So that is why this particular match, when you looked at it, third set was won by Sinner in a magnificent display where unforced errors cropped up, especially on the backhand of Alcaraz. 6-4, and then in the fourth set and in the fifth set, when you look at it, Alcaraz was in total control. He cut down on the unforced errors. He used the lob. He used the return. The service return that Alcaraz had in the last two sets was simply phenomenal. And that is why he managed to win the pressure moments very, very easily. And that's why a 5-set epic for the finale that is going to happen. So that is why the winner percentage that was there when it came to Carlos Alcaraz was simply sensational. If memory serves me right, he hit almost double the winners that Alcaraz, Janik Sinner had. So that is why a fantastic display from Carlos Alcaraz, who by definition, if he wins the French Open, he will just have the Australian to capture. And that itself, in such a young feat, to complete the career Grand Slam will be a phenomenal, phenomenal achievement indeed. So he will now face the winner of the Alexander Zverev versus Casper Ruud encounter, the second semi-final. Now, Alexander Zverev had broken a lot of hearts by defeating Rafael Nadal in the first round. And because of this, A lot of people may not be good with Alexander Zverev, but then remember, Nadal, unfortunately, his injuries have really caught up with him. There is a beautiful, beautiful statue of Nadal being this absolute alpha male, but his one leg is absolutely been deformed. The years and years of toil that Nadal has had. So that's why he Carlos Alcaraz will now face the winner of the Alexander Zverev versus Casper Ruud encounter. And we have already seen in this semi-final that this is the new passing of the torch moment. Casper Ruud, if you look at it, then there is Carlos Alcaraz, Janik Sinner. These three are your new futures when you look at the world of tennis in the post Nadal, Djokovic, Federer era. That era is now all but over. Djokovic may well play for one more year. Nadal, this is his final year. This new generation, if it lives up to it, it will carry on the proud tradition of competitive tennis that's been there in the world at this point in time. So I'll take some comments at this point. Sarat Chandra, excellent match, even though any set wasn't close, but great match. He can surely 10 slam winner if he's injury free. Yes, absolutely. His stamina and his drop shots are the best. But Sarat Chandra, remember, his stamina came into question last year when he had those cramps. And that is why with those crampings, he unfortunately couldn't make it. But he's worked on it. Remember, tennis is an incredibly physical sport. And that is why he made it up. His fitness has improved. Kudos to him. Roshan is saying, Carlos is a legend in the making. Mark my words. Yes, absolutely. I think out of all the current crop, he is one of the best in the business at this point. Roshan saying, Alcaraz had 70 winners as 35 compared to Sinner. Oh, thank you, Roshan, for confirming that. Yes, he did have double the winners as we had expected. So Sarat Chandra is like giving out a list. Zverev, Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Alcaraz, Sinner, Ruud, Rune are the new ones. Yes, Sankalp B is saying, yes, Queen Iga Swiatek was a Paulini final. I mean, Iga Swiatek, who can stop her? Paulini, yes, she has impressed. She also did Mira Andreev, who also knocked out the number 2 seed as well. So Swiatek and Alcaraz are my two winners if you look at it. Tomorrow is the women's final. Will Swiatek continue her domination and ensure that she is the next great pole after Robert Lewandowski? It remains to be seen now. So a brilliant, brilliant display of tennis has come to an end with Carlos Alcaraz reaching the final. He now awaits the winner of the Casper Ruud versus Alexander Zverev semi-final. It promises to be a cracker on Sunday as well as on Saturday. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Bye-bye.